Eazi Access first made contact with us in a request to assist them in developing a quality management system and integrating that into their business processes. And at that time, I was working with Risk ZA, and they were contracted to assist in the development of the quality management system. So I guided the process, and in working with them, it was very apparent that they were truly working towards something more than just a simple structured approach to quality. They were wanting to live the culture and to really embed the idea that quality is everyone's responsibility. And that was a wonderful journey to walk with them. We worked over a number of months to acquire the insight and understanding of what was expected. And then when we started to explore the risks within the system, we engaged collectively with all the people in the organization. The process owners were involved in guiding the process mapping with their teams. The people that worked in the processes were present and discussed the optimization of the processes. And of course, when it came to understanding risk and opportunity, they were there. They brought the practical understanding of what frustrations, difficulties, and challenges they experience in the workplace. So the quality management system that has evolved out of that truly is engaging in a customer journey. It's using the touch points that a customer may have with the organization, and it's ensuring that quality is in every endeavor. And it was, as I said earlier, a fascinating walk with them, a fascinating journey, because they truly are wanting to live the ethic of quality. So the certification journey was initiated because whilst I was working with the team at Eazi Access, they knew that they were working towards certification. They wanted certification. And it was during that time that I was involved in the launch of Wynleigh International Certification services. So having the relationship that we did, I spoke to the team about this new endeavor that we were engaging in and explained clearly that there was a need for separation of duties, that the same people can't be involved in consulting to the company as those who would conduct the audit, and that their desire, if they wanted to work with Wynleigh, would mean that I would step out of the equation and that there'd be different people participating in the audit process, both in terms of the audit itself, in the technical review of the audit report, in the approval board meetings and decisions associated with certification, and in any subsequent activities associated with surveillance and so on through the audit process. So they were encouraged by the fact that there was this openness, this transparency. They believed that the value proposition that was being offered by Wynleigh was somewhat unique, was favorable to what they desire as an organization. And they bought into the concepts that Wynleigh uses. And one can learn about those obviously from our website. But I think by and large, the ideas around certification and the use of a quality management system to truly embrace this idea of excellence through the business is something that we shared. And I think that's the reason that the decision was made to go with Wynleigh. Some of the highlights of my experience working with Eazi from a quality management perspective is that because the desire is truly to embrace the culture of quality, the extra mile is walked, as it were. We see, for example, that the standard ISO 9001 requires that customer feedback is acquired. Most organizations will send out a few questionnaires or make a few phone calls. Eazi Access engaged an independent market survey. It was statistically based, it was done professionally, and that was analyzed, and the input from that understanding informs the planning and improvement of the quality management system. So those are the very real endeavors that have been engaged in. Beyond that, we see the process owners are the people who are management in the organization. They've been involved in the discussions to optimize the business processes, to guide the people within the organization operating in those processes to mitigate risk, to maximize the opportunity within the process. So I think for me as a quality professional, the example displayed by this organization is an exemplar of the type of ethic that one would like to see when implementing a quality management system. Wynleigh as a certification business is not in the business of just simply rubber stamping a quality management system. Yes, it's all about the audit. It's an accredited process. We ourselves are SANAS accredited, but we've added to that an additional checkpoint. The idea being we want to, number one, build the brand equity of our client, in this case, Eazi Access. Secondly, we want to act on behalf of the market that they serve. And by introducing what we call our risk assurance service, we're able to represent the customer by including their thoughts and their passion for the services that they desire out of Eazi Access by using this risk assurance service. How it works is once the client is certified, in this case, Eazi Access is certified, we then ask them if they would like to engage with 5 of their key accounts through us, and we then promote their certified status to those customers. Those customers in turn are polled for feedback. We use that information, that feedback, to then inform our audit plans, and on an annual basis we go back to these key accounts in order to understand, are there changing circumstances, are there new requirements, and to provide feedback into the audit process through that. Of course, that information is also available to Eazi Access and to the management to consider. Are there any pain points that have been experienced that can be dealt with and improvements made? But in essence, I think through that, the certification is more than just publishing a certificate and indicating conformity. It's about assuring the quality of the service, the outputs of the business processes themselves. The ISO 9001-2015 version is very much about good governance. The foundation of the management system standards are developed around some of the principles of good governance and are articulated through the high-level structure that informs the development of the standard. For that reason, it's not just about focusing on quality outputs that we could probably achieve with a limited amount of quality control, verification, and validation. This is more about the running of the business. It's about exploring the risk and opportunity from a director's perspective and putting together a holistic approach that helps in the running of the organization. Yes, part of the byproduct of that is mitigation of risk, of reduction of potential liability, and certainly outputs that satisfy the customer. But ultimately, the overall system is more than that. So the customer, in buying into that concept, is looking at their entire supply chain. Not only the immediate supplier, perhaps Eazi Access in this example, but other suppliers as well. And from a social perspective, from a sustainability perspective, they're buying into a supply chain that contains more than just the average output of a quality product or a quality service. And they themselves can base some of their value proposition on the fact that they are using a responsible and an organization that understands that society is a broader interested party in this overall management of the organization, that there's a social compact with those that are outside of the organization, where expectations are placed on the entire chain of events from supplier to customer and beyond. And so the customers of Eazi Access can make use of this proposition. They understand it, they can adopt it, and they can make use of it. In order for Eazi Access's customers to demonstrate that they themselves are making use of quality practices and demonstrating excellence in their business processes, they have the exact same demands by their customers, the outputs that they provide, whether they're using an input from Eazi Access or some other supplier. They themselves need to demonstrate that they are conforming to the bigger picture, the bigger requirements and expectations of the marketplace. One of the ways that they can do that is by way of gaining certification themselves. Of course, if they did that through Wynleigh has this added value proposition where we're looking at risk and conveying that understanding of the risk profile to other interested parties like the insurer. We can engage with their customers, their marketplace as well as part of the risk assurance service. So it's not just about issuing a certificate. There are many players in the market that can offer that kind of value, that kind of output. We pride ourselves, of course, that we do that in a responsible way, only using formally registered auditors competent in the specific industry sector of the customer. We're accredited accordingly in that industry sector for that particular standard. So we try and raise the bar in everything that we do to add credibility to those who we work with. And we believe that we're doing that well, and we're growing as a consequence of it. It's not just a rubber stamp exercise. It's about offering true credibility and brand equity to our customers and those we work with. Eazi Access started out as a small player in the market, privately owned, and they've expanded beyond the borders of South Africa through acquisition and growth. They're now represented in many parts of Africa across various brands, different products that they are promoting. And as a service provider, my understanding is that they are seeking to extend or expand their scope of certification beyond what it is at the moment. This includes then the various hubs, the different branch offices that work with those hubs, not only in South Africa but elsewhere as well. So my understanding of their ambition for quality management and formal certification is to extend and expand the profile of that, and accordingly we'd like to walk that path with them, using exactly the kind of value proposition that we've put to take them this far and to go beyond the borders. We obviously offer our services into the region. We have clients in sub-Saharan Africa, and our accreditation is valid all around the world. So it doesn't matter where they expand to and how quickly they expand, we're able to then offer them the kind of benefit that they're looking for, not only in their current certification, but as that grows into a broader perspective as well. My personal desire for Eazi Access would be to encourage them to move beyond ISO 9001, to look at ISO 14001, to look at ISO 45001, speaking to environmental management and occupational health and safety management respectively, so that the integrated system that they already have can gain the kind of credibility that we offered around the ISO 9001 standard. So that would certainly be an objective for me, to encourage the growth in that direction. So for prospective clients that wish to engage with us to talk about certification or simply about the subject of international standards and growing management systems, I'd be glad to talk to you. I'm obviously at the expo, moving around to the different points of contact as well. We have a stand that would give you access to the people that are present there. Our operations manager, Christina, is going to be present, and you're welcome to engage with her. Otherwise, the contact points are on the internet. Wynleigh International Certification Services has a website with various contact details there, either by email, WhatsApp, and the various social media contacts as well. So you're encouraged to do that. I look forward to meeting you and talking to you about any of these subjects that I've promoted here.